Hello, my beautiful friends. As you can see, I am here in nature for the video that I promised you, my yoga tutorial. Let's get it started, shall we? So the first thing that I want to let you know is that your environment really matters. I'm here in nature. The sun just went behind some clouds, so the lighting has changed, but I live in the city of San Diego, and a city has a lot going on. There's a lot of cars and people and concrete, but in every single place that you are, there will always be a beautiful pocket of peace, serenity, harmony, and nature. This one is called Famosa Slough for anyone in the San Diego area. It's this wonderful little wildlife preservation right by my house. So number one, I want you to find yourself in a peaceful environment. Now, this could be your room, or it could be a studio, or it could be outside. Wherever you feel comfortable, wherever you feel like your environment is fostering peace. So I'll go ahead and let you find that out. Okay, so once you have found your spot, I want you to set yourself up for success by creating a sacred space. So for me, my mat is a sacred space. I consider everyone's mat a sacred space. I never step on anyone's mat. I never use anyone's mat without asking, because that's their place, that they do their practice, their work. So I want you to go ahead and give yourself a sacred space, even if you don't have a mat. Maybe you could set up like 4 objects in each corner to kind of create that, or even just mentally, find yourself in an area where you feel, okay, this is my time, this is my place to do this work. Okay, cool. So now that you've done that, you're going to go ahead and find yourself in an easy seat. So this might look like crisscross applesauce. It might look like sitting your hips back on your heels, creating a flat spine. You might even tuck something underneath your tailbone so that your tailbone kind of pours underneath you like a bowl. So there's duck butt, and then there's pulling your tailbone underneath you to create a flat spine. Crisscross applesauce, half lotus, or for some people who have been practicing for a while or are naturally flexible, they come into full lotus. I prefer half lotus. I don't need to show off to anyone. This is my practice for myself, and I want you to always remember that. Your practice is for you. It does not matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. This is for you to figure out your body and to find healing. Awesome. So now that you're in an easy seat, go ahead and let your hands rest on your knees. Face up is to receive energy. Face down is to conserve it for yourself, whatever you'd like. And the first very important aspect of yoga is pranayama. Pranayama is the breath work. So breathing, this is called the Obi pause when the airplane goes overhead. So we'll take a moment. So pranayama is the air. It is this invisible thing all around us that we can feel but we can't see, and it's the life force that keeps us alive. Our lungs are here to transmutate pranayama to create energy and to create life force so we can do everything that we do. It's a very special gift that has been given to us on this planet. And we can use it, we can wield it. It's not just there to unconsciously interact with. We can consciously interact with the air around us and with our breath as the tool to create healing, to create space in the body, to create sound. So that's the most important fundamental tool in yoga, is interacting with the air in a way that's productive and healing, whatever that means to you. So I'm going to have you go ahead and do some breath work. Hands on knees, close your eyes. Sit up nice and straight, meaning the channels in your body are all welcoming and open to get this healing. Take a big breath in through the nose. I want you to first fill your throat, then your chest, and then your belly. Feel the air hit all those points. Go ahead and inhale. Pause at the top. I want you to retain the air in your body. There's no need to do anything other than retain the air. I want you to feel what it is like to have the air in every single cell of your body right now. Go ahead and take another small sip of air in and exhale slowly through the mouth. Now in my classes, I encourage that you make whatever noise you need to make. I'm very loud and expressive, and I think that's another way to heal ourselves. Get it out. Whatever comes out, you're alone, let it come out. And even if you weren't alone, I wouldn't judge you. 2 more like that. Inhale, throat, chest, belly, retain at the top, exhale through the mouth, let everything out that needs to come out. Last one. Beautiful. Go ahead and slowly blink open your eyes. Just take a moment to notice. Notice how your body feels different right now, just from taking the time to be still and work with air. Beautiful. I want you to use this breathing practice throughout the rest of your practice. Coming back to breath is a wonderful way to focus the mind. It also calms the central nervous system. And we pause. Awesome. So, let's go ahead and start getting into some yoga, okay? I'm going to make this one gentle. This one's for my aunt, Bubbly Mossy. Thank you so much for inspiring me to make this video. This one's for you. We're going to keep it gentle, we're going to keep it simple and fundamental, but it's going to be a powerful practice. Just remember to stick with that breath. All right, go ahead and slide onto one of your hips. Come around, hands and knees. Hands are underneath shoulders, hips are over knees. We're going to start with the basic practice of just making your spine flat. Shoot the crown of your head forward, hips shoot back. Awesome. Now that you feel the strength in your palms pushing out of the earth, feet are firmly rooted into the ground, start to move through some simple cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, hike the hips, push away from the earth, gaze up. Exhale, curl the spine, push away from the earth, create traction. Beautiful. Continue to move in this way. Close your eyes, perhaps. Now here's where the fun comes in. I am all about expression. I want you to start moving in a way that feels authentic in your body. That could look like anything. And the thing is, it doesn't matter how it looks. I want you to feel. So close your eyes and feel your spine. What is it asking for? Is it saying, stretch me really, really long? Or twist me all around? Is it saying maybe you could gaze over one shoulder and then the other? Start to get really loose. Start to get really real. This is not a time to be joking with yourself or holding back. If someone else asked you to do something for them, I guarantee you would probably try your best if you were willing to help them and you were in the good state of mind. I want you to treat your practice like that. I want you to be that someone that you're helping. I want you to give it your all, and I don't want you to hold back. So continue to breathe and move through your spine. After one more round of breath, come back to a neutral place. Beautiful. We're going to move into child's pose. Knees come to the wide edges of the mat, big toes touch. Sit your hips back towards your heels, crawl your hands out in front of you, place your forehead onto the mat. Awesome. All right, here's where you need to do some really deep breathing and another important aspect of yoga. Start to surrender. Surrender fully into the earth. Start to melt. Melt your fingertips, melt your hands, melt your wrists, your forearms, your elbows, your shoulders. Melt your upper back, your mid-back, your chest and belly. Melt your hips, your glutes, your thighs, your knees, your ankles, your feet. Melt every single muscle in your face, your lips, your tongue, your nose, your eyes, your cheeks, your ears. Melt the crown of your head, your brain, and the space around you. Fully melt into the earth here. Surrender all need to do work. And we're going to hold this for the next minute. I want you to breathe deeply, and that's it. And if your mind starts to wander, It starts to create stories of what's happening. There are sensations in your body that are uncomfortable, and your brain wants to start chattering. I hate this. This is annoying. This reminds me of that one time that kid kicked me in the 3rd grade. I wonder what that girl's doing. She has nice boobs. Wherever your brain goes, I want you to bring it back. Bring it back to your child's pose. Bring it back to your breath. Continue to melt. I will sit here and hold space for you in between moves. My only job here is to observe. Your job is to observe. Let's do it. What do you hear? What do you feel in your body? And make sure when sensations come up, you notice them. You do not label or judge them. You don't get scared. You simply notice and send breath and love, pure, unconditional, healing love to your body. How often do you do that for everyone else or anything else? When's the last time you did that for that weird feeling you just felt in your shoulder? Go ahead. Send yourself love. You deserve it. This is your time that you're carving out for yourself. All right, let's continue on. We're in child's pose. Go ahead and bring your hands back. Crawl them underneath your shoulders. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Wonderful. We're going to come into downward facing dog. A lot of people think that this pose is easy because it's a basic pose, but it's actually one of the hardest. It's taken me a long time to get to where I'm at, and I'm still very far from being good, whatever that means. So be gentle to yourself. There's a lot going on here. Go ahead and tuck your toes underneath you. Hike your hips up towards the sky. Begin to melt your heels down towards the ground. Grip your fingertips into the mat. Index finger comes forward. Thumb comes into an L shape. Rotate your biceps in towards one another. Push your torso back towards your thighs. Melt your head down towards the earth. Straight lines of energy. All right. Fan your hips up towards the sky and open. Go ahead and continue to melt through the heels. We want straight lines of energy. It's much more important here to create those straight lines than to find depth. So even if your straight lines are far apart and your heels aren't touching, that's okay, as long as you're working on alignment. Yoga is all about moving through sensation and building strength and flexibility, but never through pain. Pain is your body saying, please stop. Sensation is your body saying, you're pushing me to the edge. We want to find sensation, hold it there, use breath and healing, love and compassion to move through sensation, therefore creating space for increased strength and flexibility. This is a slow process. I've been practicing yoga for 5 years, and I'm still a novice. It's a lifelong practice. But I guarantee, if you incorporate yoga into your life every single day, you will notice that we often overestimate what we can do in 1 year, but very much underestimate what we can do in 5, 10, 20 years. That's the purpose of yoga. Life is a journey, not a destination. So go ahead, stay in your down dog, start to take big open mouth breaths. I want to hear you. You can even take a lion's breath. This means that you breathe in through the nose, open the mouth, stick the tongue out. It's not the prettiest thing, but it really helps get everything out. Now is the time to release everything that doesn't serve you. Leave it on the mat. I want you to move in your down dog in any way that feels good to you. Pedal out your feet, wag your tail, shake your head yes, shake your head no. Those are suggestions for you to build on. Get creative. Yoga's not set in stone. Your body's different than mine. Listen to your body and do what feels good. Let's do it. I'll show you what feels good to me right now. Awesome. Go ahead and crawl your feet up to between your hands and take a seat. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and start to speed this up. I think that I've gotten most of the fundamentals of yoga out so far. So just remember, stick with your breath, stay authentic, do what your body wants, and alignment over depth always. So let's go ahead and do some neck rolls. Inhales lead you around, exhales lead you back up. Other way. Do that for as long as feels good. This is a video, so you can pause it whenever you want. Awesome. We're going to do shoulder rolls next. Shoulders up to the ears, down the back, up to the ears, down the back, reverse. Do that however feels good, for how long as feels good. Remember, especially during neck rolls and shoulder rolls, you're going to sometimes feel a muscle that's very tight. I encourage you to stop in that space, start to use breath to breathe into it. Give yourself time. When you come to my videos, I want you to prepare to have an entire hour carved out. They're not going to be an hour long, but let's see if you can get an hour in each day just for yourself. Again, if it needs to be less, I do want this to be accessible to absolutely everyone. But I encourage you to try to do this for an hour. I'm just here to guide you. Ultimately, your practice is your own. Awesome. Once you're done with shoulder rolls, I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Your hands come behind you and clasp. Pull them down towards the earth. Gaze up. Now, if this is uncomfortable in your shoulders, you can always just bring one hand to one shoulder, maybe the other's the other. Wherever you feel good, never strain yourself. But if you can clasp, just try to pull the hands down, cracking the heart open, exposing, becoming vulnerable. Big breath in. Exhale, fold over. I want you to stay here for at least 5 breaths. Breathe deeply into the body. What I love about this is that you can be all alone. Many times people get very nervous about breathing in front of other people, which is weird because we're all doing it all the time. Breathe in a way you've never breathed before. Deeper, more meaningfully, more mindfully than you've ever breathed before. Breathe here, breathe. This probably sucks. Breathe through it. Awesome. Go ahead and slowly bring yourself back up. Hands to your knees. I think I'm going to keep this short like this. I've already given a lot of information. We're already at 18 minutes. This was a very short practice. As I build on these videos, you'll have more and more fundamentals, and then we can continue through the flow. People get really scared of yoga because there's so much information they feel like they don't know. So far you've already learned the meaning of pranayama, easy pose, child's pose, cat-cow, freedom of expression, down dog, lion's breath, shoulder and neck rolls properly, and how to clasp your hands behind your back. You can do any of this at any time during the day if you're feeling tense or like you need to stretch. Thank you so much for joining me. I would love to close with Om. Om is to light. Om is to sound. My friend Andrew just said this in one of his tutorials. Om is to sound what rainbows are to light. Om is the all-encompassing sound that everything in the universe can be contained within. Doesn't have to be spiritual if you don't want it to, but it can be. I want you to feel how this vibration of Om feels in your body. There's 3 parts to Om. Ah, O, and Ah, you'll feel in the back of your throat. O, you'll feel in your mouth. You'll feel in the lips. Try to do this as slowly and mindfully as you can. Hands to heart center, and we'll breathe. Beautiful. Big breath in. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any suggestions, feedback, requests, or comments in general, please leave them down below. Subscribe to my channel if you have a YouTube. Just let me know that you're out there. And do know that I am here for any of your questions that you think I can answer. Open, available, loving, and super excited to be doing this with you. So from my heart to yours, until tomorrow, namaste.